2 p.m. Detroit, and you know what that means. Detroit media icon Ryan Ermanni, University of Michigan great Braylon Edwards, and of course, Maz are about to take over on Woodward Sports. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m., it's the best Detroit sports talk on Detroit's best.
You are looking live at the Detroit Golf Club in beautiful Detroit City. Woodward Sports Network broadcasting to you live from the Feldman Automotive Children's Miracle Celebrity Invitational. I'm Ryan Ermanni alongside Anson Wells. Braylon out today. He's on a course somewhere in Metro Detroit. It is a Monday in the summer, Anson. That's what people do around here, but we are so pleased to be here at the DGC for the Feldman Automotive Children's Miracle Celebrity Invitational. It is one of those celebrity-filled events. Mark Wahlberg is a big part of this invitational as well. One of those celebrity events that brings so much awareness and so much money to our local community.
Yeah, I mean, where else would you want to start your week, my friend? I actually, as I mentioned, went over to my dad's house, turned on the TV, and there's this handsome guy there. So
keep talking, Anson.
Started my day with it. I'm ending my day with it. I got a chance to be here last year. This is just such a great event. I'm really, really honored to be back.
I met your old man, I want to say about 6 months ago.
Yeah, he told me.
He was at Fox 2 doing a segment.
Yes, sir.
Great guy.
Yeah, thank you.
Great guy. So if he's watching,
shout out D-Dubs.
Shout out D-Dubs. Tom Mazaway, shout out to you as well, my friend.
What's up, boys?
Good afternoon to you.
He ain't as good as Anson, though. Anson's the guy.
Wow.
Anson's the
I
guy.
mean, that's
not
not even a question, right?
Not even a question.
Now, I've had a lot of Ryan Ermanni lately. I just missed you at the graduation party over the weekend. How did you have fun?
Well, we had a blast. It's Maddie Mazaway, the third of the Mazaway daughters. It was her graduation party this week. Whole family came. We got Lukey in the pool.
Oh, Lukey.
Maz, you said that little Lukey was the first into the pool.
He was. He broke
this
the
year.
He broke the seal.
Broke the seal.
And I hope he didn't do you know what in there.
No, not
right.
Lukey.
All right.
As we were leaving, we see Anson come in, and you had a date.
I did. Her name's Layla. She's beautiful. I'm sure she's legal in human years, but she is a 3-year-old dog, so.
Maz, pick up the story from there.
I will.
By the way, Pete with us, Ricky with us.
Okay.
Gentlemen, good afternoon. Pick up the story from there because as we were walking out, Anson was walking in with a 400-pound dog.
There you go.
And, you know, I just thought it's time to go.
She's not 400 pounds, guys.
Okay.
She is very small.
So here we are. You're leaving. I'm saying goodbye to you, Nicole, of course, Lydia and Luke, giving you hugs. All of a sudden, I see Anson walking down. Hey, Ricky, Anson wants you for some reason. Anyway, I see him walking down the street with Layla. And I'm like, he's not bringing Layla to the party, is he? Does he think it's just like 10 people here? I have 160 people. You can't walk. There's nowhere to sit. Well, there is. But it was crowded. So I'm a nervous wreck to begin with. So I'm like, bro, Layla's got to stay in the car for a while till it thins out. And that's exactly what happened. A little bit later, Layla came in. Everyone loved her. She loved everyone except my brother-in-law, Jersey Mike. She knows.
Oh, no.
She knows he's a bad dude. And she was barking her head off at him. And I told him, she knows you're the devil, man. She knows that you are the devil. I'm only kidding. I love my brother-in-law, my sister, Jenny, my nieces. It was a great day. It was a great success. And I was so happy to have as many people as I could come and hang out with us and have a great time, a great celebration. And then this morning, I put my oldest, 22-year-old Lily, in the car, waved goodbye to her, just like my dad did to me when I came to Michigan, and she left for Nashville to go work for the Tennessee Titans.
I got goosebumps, man. What was that? What was that experience like? What a weekend!
I just tried to hold it together. That's it.
Were you crying in the driveway?
I was crying inside. I still am.
Oh my gosh! Just so proud of your girls, man. Three daughters. You and Kathy did a remarkable job raising those 3 kids. Those 3 girls all of whom have babysat for my kids, all three of them.
I think Maddie booked a job
Yeah,
this
she
weekend.
did.
That's funny.
We got Maddie this weekend coming up, but just a remarkable family
Thank you.
you've created for yourself there, Tom.
Thank you. It was it's great. That's what I was put here to do.
Yeah, you're inspiring when it comes to the
Thank
girls.
you. I might be a mess up on a lot of other things, but I think I did good on the dad part.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's what matters.
The world's greatest dad. I need the T-shirt.
Yeah, you don't have a mug yet? All this time?
Mandelbaum.
All right, so I got a
It's a
question for
Seinfeld.
Ryan.
I know
you
it. I
hate it.
know it.
I got a question for Ryan. Had you met Jersey Mike and Fragile Frankie before?
So, yes, actually, Jersey Mike, I've met Jersey Mike, and he is one of those great guys. And I'll tell you, dogs always go to the non-dog person of the group. So if Jersey Mike isn't an animal lover,
He's
I
not.
guarantee you that Layla immediately gravitated towards Jersey Mike for that reason alone.
She's like, do I need to get this guy out of here? Now, I spent most of my evening with these two gentlemen, all right? And gentlemen, I'm using loosely because
They were like the wolf
these
pack.
guys bet on everything. I mean, everything. They had about 3 straight bets while we stood there, just eyes all over the ice chest, whether or not a beer was coming out next or a hard seltzer. Then we went into the kitchen after they had chosen even or odd amount of eggs in the fridge. I mean, the stuff that these two guys were
That's
betting
impressive.
on
Yeah.
for
my
hours
kinda
and
guy.
hours
Degenerates.
all night, and I couldn't get enough. They were using me as a referee. My stomach still hurts today.
My kind of guys. Hey, quickly,
Unbelievable.
before we get back to this, shout out to my guy JB over here. I have not
JB.
seen JB.
No
And
doubt.
I sat and had lunch
Kool-Aid,
with him.
obviously. I have not seen JB in what feels like
Come on,
10
JB.
years,
Too long.
man.
It's too long.
JB,
Ryan.
I love you, man. Let me tell you, you are just one of the guys that I look at and I hear the name and I smile, man. It is so good to see you and hear your voice once again.
It's good to see you guys. I miss you guys, man.
I miss you, but you don't miss us enough. We got Ricky now. We're not letting
Yeah.
Ricky go.
Yeah, I'm here.
Get out of here.
Get out of here, JB. Just kidding. We love you, JB. I just wanted to say that.
I
but
got the saying. I had lunch with JB today and Spenny. It's a great outing here, man. This is a beautiful place. Home of the Rocket Classic now, right? Home of the Rocket
Absolutely.
Classic. So
coming up
it's
at
fun.
the end of the month.
It's fun.
No doubt. So I'm sorry, Anthony, to cut you off, but you were talking about the degenerates betting on
Well, my next thing I was
odd or
And
even
you-
eggs.
and you
they're
thought of
coming in
JB.
for the. They come in for annually for the Thanksgiving game, and I am already on the list. I'm going out with those guys. I am never missing another Jersey Mike moment.
No. It's the Massaway family as a whole.
Yes.
As a whole, I mean, it is a sight to behold. Just being a part of
I'm
it.
mad I
Ryan,
missed it.
I'm getting some of the beautiful Mexican spread that they had there, the tortillas and all that stuff.
By the way, that
nachos.
was phenomenal.
I'm
It
glad
was.
you liked it.
It was.
Glad you liked
Where'd
it.
you get that?
Kathy did a hell of a job. She we had a couple places in
It was
town.
a bug. It was a bug.
Oh, thank you, Ricky.
That was a
couple
great
places
setup.
in town. Yeah, but most of it was homemade.
Really?
Yeah.
Now
Oh, it
wonder
was?
why it was
Oh,
so
nice.
Yeah.
Now wonder why it was
Yeah.
so good, by
Wow.
the way.
Most of it was homemade.
Because I was going to say, I lived in St. Clair Shores. I never had good Mexican in like St. Clair Shores like that. I'll be honest.
Oh my God.
Oh, we got some good places.
Yeah, we do.
We got Mexican, the place right up on 9 Mile, Plaza Neximo. We have Plaza Mexico. We got El
You got El
Charo. We got the
Charo.
Crazy
El Charo.
Gringo.
No
We got
doubt.
El Charo,
lots
I
of
forgot
places.
about
You got
that.
a lot, but that was
I'm
especially
glad
top
you liked
notch.
it.
That was
We ran out of food, though.
well, that's a good
That's a
sign
good
of
party, yeah.
It's good.
You don't want a ton of leftovers.
No, we didn't have
You know
any.
what I mean?
We didn't have any. We have a couple bags of shredded cheese.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Oh
That's
my
about
gosh.
it.
Now, how crazy did it get, Maz?
It was crazy,
Because
man. Now,
I
listen.
feel like earlier in the day, like we came, party started at 4. We were there at like 4:15. I
Yeah.
mean, that's when the family
Exactly.
hour is, and then
Exactly.
debauchery after that.
It was. Now, I thought the early part would, like, thin out. It really did not thin out. It actually got thicker
Right.
as the night went on. Now, my daughter is 18 years old, Maddie. So she's got 18, 17-year-old friends.
Oh, my
19
gosh.
maybe. And I don't want them drinking. I don't, you got to watch them.
Gotta watch him.
Got to watch them.
Can't watch 'em.
I had a couple
Can't
of
watch 'em.
boys run in the house a few times. I ran after them. Jersey Mike, I sent to the basement to make sure no one was down there. You got to watch all the other rooms in the house. I was like a Gestapo.
Oh,
crying
my
out loud.
God.
Somebody still got at least one shot in.
No doubt. And hey, I would much rather just have it at a place like this,
Right.
And just let them go wild, hog wild.
Because
we had a couple of ejections.
you did have
From
a couple
what?
of ejections.
Yeah,
couple of young
Layla, my
guys.
dog.
Get out of here.
They just didn't get it, man. I'm like, all right, it's time to go, boys. It's time to go.
And did they leave respectfully?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Mr. Maz. I'm sorry, I didn't know. Blah blah blah. That's
Were they
okay.
smoking in the bathroom or something?
That's okay. No,
You
I
know
don't
what?
know. They just got
one of the-
ejected.
it-
They
it's
didn't
one of
listen.
those, Maz. You know what? You're so right. We talk about graduation party season all the time, and maybe for some of you who are watching this now, it's you're going to a grad
Yep.
party. You're hosting one.
Went to one yesterday.
in the coming days or coming weeks, but you can't. You have to keep a close eye on these kids today because
Yep.
it's not like 25, 30 years ago where, okay, you're a kid, you go sneak a couple of beers, fine,
Yeah.
nobody's got a problem with it, perhaps. Well, let's just real talk. Nobody's got a problem with it, have
Yeah.
a couple of beers. Now you're going to prison
Yeah.
for a long time
Yeah.
if something happens at your party
It's not the
with an
Believe me,
underage kid.
I can't last a day in prison. I promise you that. Okay? That's
You
my
got enough
goal in
stories.
life.
You got
See,
enough
I don't
stories to get you
believe
through.
that. I believe you'd be
Yeah.
the guy moving all of the illegal contraband.
No,
you
Maz
gotta
got
go to
enough-
Maz for some cigarettes. Let's go.
Maz has enough stories to get him through.
Oh,
You
yeah.
got enough stories.
For sure. You'd be the kingpin, Maz. I have
I
no
hope, so.
doubt.
I hope you're right.
You be the bookie.
speaking
You
of
be the bookie.
kingpins-
There you go, Ricky.
Speaking of kingpins, I'm in the buffet line, and this woman comes in and just takes control. And I thought it sounded
man.
like Maz
That's the way
at
they
the
do it. That's what we
network.
need.
Same type of energy, and everybody's, they're listening, boy. And I'm looking, I'm like, this has got to be his darn sister. Sure enough,
Oh,
it runs
yeah.
in the blood. I loved it, man. It was an
Thank you.
awesome day,
Sister
awesome
Jen.
party. And honestly, Jersey Mike, wild man, but every single person there, including Jersey Mike, so welcoming, so awesome. I really had a blast. Thanks for having me out.
Of course, guys. Of course.
That's
I'm
great
going to have a
stuff.
Woodward social there one of these,
Yes.
one of
There
these
we go.
weekends.
Dude, you have a great setup for a party
Sure
too.
does.
Yeah.
Your backyard is perfect to host.
That's why we bought the house. We bought
Yeah.
it. I knew my wife would fall in love with the backyard.
Uh-huh.
And that's exactly what it is. Otherwise, it's just another St. Clair Shores ranch besides that. But the backyard is nice. So it works out.
Oh my gosh, I
Works
love
out.
it. No doubt about it. And
Thanks for everything, guys.
absolutely, we love you, Tom Mazaway, and a lot of people in the chat also
Thanks, Chad.
giving their congratulations. And again, just to remind everybody, we are at the Feldman Automotive Celebrity Golf match.
Outing.
Golf outing. Thank
got
you for the Children's Miracle Network. And let me tell you, this is one of those events that is so meaningful and so impactful to the people of our community. $1.6 million this event is scheduled or expected to be raised today. Since 2021, this event has raised more than $6.5 million. That is real dollars being poured into our community. So everybody here at the Detroit Golf Club, in conjunction with the Feldman Automotive Children's Celebrity Invitational, so great. And, everybody's out on the course right now. I know the morning show got things started here. And,
They had Rudy.
Yeah, right. Rudy
Yeah.
Rudy stopped by, and some celebs have stopped
Rudy
by.
Rudiker,
we'll
by the
see
way.
if anybody will. Do you think these kids even know who Rudy is
I was
anymore?
afraid when I heard Rudy was here and they was coming up to the morning show. I was like, I pray that these guys know who Rudy was. And they took good care of him. Let's leave it at that.
They knew, though, right?
Brady brought him up, and I don't think Brady knew who he was.
Stop it.
Yes, I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
It's one of those generational things, Anson, where, I could recite every line to the movie Major League from 1989.
Likewise.
And the older I get, I'm 46 years old, I still feel like I'm 16. Like, in
That's
my
good.
mind, I'm a 16-year-old,
That's
okay?
good, man.
I can't believe I have responsibility, but I also can't believe that there has also been – I also cannot believe that there has been, 30 years after that time period,
34.
Right? 34
It's a
years
sequel.
after that.
I was born in '89. That's how I know.
Okay. I can't get it through my mind that people have not seen the movie Major League.
Yeah, that's really bad. I mean, if you don't have to like sports to have to watch that movie. It was a month or so ago, we were talking about the greatest sports movies ever. And I don't know if you listed that as yours, but it's got to be mine. I think it is the greatest ever. It's one of those few movies in
I think
sports.
I probably would have said Rocky.
Me too.
See, to me, it's that and it's Caddyshack, which is perfect for today. But, you got to see Major League.
I love Tin Cup better than Caddyshack.
Really?
I do.
Caddyshack is just a classic. In fact, did you see Chevy Chase, like the real Chevy Chase, driving down a street, and there was a little it was a putt-putt, and it was called Caddyshack, and it was in a complete recreation of Caddyshack, the snack shack and everything.
Oh, cool.
And he stopped by. And
Could you imagine him just walking
Ty
in?
Webb, baby.
Yeah, whoever it was.
They didn't know.
No, they knew.
Okay.
Well, it was a little putt-putt place. It was a family-owned. The daughter, she couldn't have been 18 years old, was working the snack shack. Chevy Chase walks up, and he's like, hi, I'd like a hot dog and a pop or something. And her eyes got big, and then she said, Dad, and the dad came over and was like, I spelled it Caddie, so you didn't come sue me.
That's funny. That's classic.
So that was really cool.
That is good.
Long way to get to, whether it's Major League or Rudy.
Yeah.
It's like there are these movies, there are these moments in our lives from our generation that we cannot even fathom somebody not understanding or knowing what that was. I remember when I was at Michigan, and the movie Rudy came out in, 1993. So I got to Michigan in 97, so it was still really fresh. It was a big part of my college, and Michigan played Notre Dame every year. And the entire student section that year, well, let's say half of the student section, we were all wearing T-shirts at the Notre Dame game. Rudy sucked. And, you can't even appreciate that anymore.
Yeah.
I know. They were like, who are you talking about?
Exactly. Kids today, who are you talking about?
Rocky was 1976.
Right.
I was 8th grade in 1976.
And that's something.
It's amazing. I was 2. Yeah. Ricky wasn't even a gleam in
My
his parents'
my
eyes
dad
yet.
was 16.
There you go. You weren't even a gleam yet.
Nah, he hadn't even thought about me.
Oh, my gosh. So plenty of good stuff to get going, guys. But let's kick off the show today, shall we? But first,
before we go to this, I do want to let everybody know some of the other great names that are here. Of course, the whole Wahlberg family. Got Mark and James, Bob, and Brandon. Some names you might know: Kevin Ogletree, Nancy Lieberman, Bodie Miller, the gold medalist.
I need one of those books.
Marshall Falk is here. Of course, Lomas Brown, the legend who
Where's
joined
Lomas?
us. He joined us last year. Kenny Anderson, a legend from the New York playgrounds, and I'm sure Maz loves. Of course,
Thanks,
Buddha Edwards is here. Otis Birdsong's here. Got one of his cards. If I cross paths with him, he's going to sign that.
Antonio Sabato Jr. is here.
See, I was going to hold him for last. I was going to save him for last. Ron Harper's here. Eddie George. Of course, the hitman Hearns is here. Jalen Rose. The guy's, he's as Detroit as it gets. Gary Sheff is here. Sheffield's in the house.
Sheffield of Dreams.
And just a
Gary
whole bunch.
Sheffield is here?
You can't leave out Kevin Sorbo. Hercules himself is in the house.
Hercules.
But yes, I don't know exactly how we're going to work it today, okay, guys? I've got the wheel here. I don't have the chat in front of me. 3:45, we're cutting it off. When we take a small commercial break, I'm going to get the names. I'm going to put them into a wheel. I've got a PSA.
Wait a minute.
9.
John Barry is here?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
John Barry is in the house. But this is a Grant Hill 2015 Prism PSA 9.
Danny Cannell is here?
One of the biggest cards I've given away. So super chat. I'm not going to be able to watch you guys, but get them in. I'll get the list at the last commercial break. I'm going to put them into the wheel, and then I'm going to spin it myself. But this is an awesome card going home to one of you guys.
You can do the wheel here on remote?
I'm going to do the wheel on remote.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
I know a guy that, Maz, you'd be very happy to see. Irving Fryer.
Oh, yeah.
Right up
Love
your
it.
alley, huh?
New England Patriots.
Right up your alley. This is, what a list.
Winky Wright. I was a fan.
Jesus.
I'm a fan of Marky Mark, man.
What about Mike
I love
Keenan?
Mike.
He was the head coach of the '94
He was.
Stanley Cup championship
The Rangers,
team.
who beat my Devils.
Wow, this is a great list.
Very cool.
Oh,
My
that'll be
goodness.
nice.
Marshall
Hopefully some of
Faulk
these
is
guys
here,
stop
man.
by.
Pigs.
Hopefully
The
some of
Marshall
these guys
plant
stop
is
by.
here, baby.
It's fantastic.
Hall of Famer.
All right, guys. So we'll see what happens. We'll see who we can get over here throughout the rest of the day. But should we start with the Detroit Tigers, ladies and
Absolutely.
gentlemen?
Yes.
They
Start
take-
and end with them.
They take 2 of
Yes.
3 from the Chicago Cubs over the weekend. Over 120,000 fans, 121,000 plus at Comerica Park over the weekend.
Quick question, Ryan.
Yes.
Were you satisfied
No,
with the
I was not
seats?
satisfied.
Okay, and I got some news for you, too, on that crowd, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want me to start there?
Go ahead.
It's horrible. It's horrible.
I can't watch a game without thinking about it.
It's horrible. Okay? Over 121,000
Crazy.
people at that stadium over the weekend. And there's probably, I would say, less than 50 seats on the
Screen.
shot.
Yeah.
Okay? On the batter's box camera when every single pitch, guys, they got to do something. When that stadium is packed the way that it's packed, you are doing a disservice to the television audience that you do not fill those seats. And I know they're accounted for. I know they're sold. I know they're somewhere in that building. But you have to go do seat fillers. Yeah. And I really mean that. If you sit in that seat, if you are in the batter's box, if you are right there, if your seat is seen every single pitch, you have a seat that should be eligible for a seat filler. They do that at award shows. They do that at Saturday Night Live. They do that at Fallon every night, and it's less than 50 people. Put Tigers Stadium employees in there if you have to. But when the stadium is packed, it is a vibe killer that all those empty seats are there. Yeah. I guarantee you that there weren't 20 available seats in any section in that stadium.
Facts.
The entire weekend.
You know what? Most of them are. They're going to get their food.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
And you know what? When that stadium club opens on a 90-degree day in July, you know where they're going to be? In there, watching the game on TV at the bar because it's all free food and stuff.
Correct.
Which they're going to be gone even longer when that club opens up. I am begging the Tigers for the feeling of the television viewing audience. Yeah. When that stadium is packed, get some butts in those seats.
Luxury has been killing sport for the majority of this century at this point. You look at the backbreaker of the Palace, they made the bunker suites. Now, these are seats you can't even see or see the game from. They were ridiculous. It jumped costs for all the normal fans. And you look at these seats, and obviously I get the dollars and cents of what luxury seats like that bring in. But you're already providing them luxury. Do they have to have the most viable seat in the house, the one that's on camera? Because this renaissance that we have in Detroit Tigers baseball right now, the nation isn't getting the real taste of it that they should be when they're watching these games because of exactly what you're talking about. They're looking at a sparsely populated area that people are paying 10x to sit in.
It feels like nobody's at the game.
Yeah.
When you're watching on TV, it feels like nobody is there, Tom Mazza.
Yeah, it's ugly. And, as a Yankee fan, I can tell you from when the new Yankee Stadium was built, the same thing. All those luxury seats that remained empty for 2 seasons. Even during the playoffs, it was hard to fill them. And, again, they're impossible to pay for unless you're a company or very well off. And the guards around them will not let anyone like me or Pete sneak into those seats.
You speak
and
from
sit
experience.
Down. Yeah, I can speak from experience. We're not allowed in there. So I want to tell you this. I want to read you a text I got from our super fan, my friend Josh Teebs.
Okay.
Teebs is the guy at the stadium. You see him. He's holding all these signs up. He's screaming, trying to get the crowd in. Here's what he said. Maz, the crowd this past weekend was the worst ever. All rich people, too cool to cheer. Yes, crowds were sold out. Zero energy. I'm dead serious. Worst crowd I've ever witnessed. If you ever want to interview me again, I won't blabber as much, but I'm telling you, you got to tell the fans We're not going to win crap in the playoffs unless we get the fans fired up. I'm not under-exaggerating. It was the worst crowd he's ever been a part of.
So
now, I'm going to
self-aware.
bring this up. When the Lions were driving for the playoffs last year, everyone knows they sold their tickets. They made lots of money. The season ticket holders made lots of money selling it to people that haven't gone to a Lions game. And the last bunch of crowds at the games were very subdued, not the same vigorous noise that you used to hear at Ford Field. That, Ryan, you brag about. You say it's the best. It's the best in sports, Ford Field. And it was quiet during the Washington game. Hey, we didn't give them a lot to cheer for, but it was quieter than usual. And Comerica was quieter than usual this weekend.
There's nothing you can do about that, though, Tom Mazaway, because you're not taking the money part out of sports. If anything, it's only going to get worse at this point moving forward.
No doubt.
And sports is not for the regular guy anymore. It's just not.
Yep.
Unless
you're a White Sox fan.
Even if you want to watch it, on television now, you can't really watch. You've got to get the elevated package, or you've got to buy the app, or you've got to get 3 or 4. Listen, if you wanted to watch Tigers baseball this week,
on Friday, I couldn't find it.
That's what I'm saying.
It was on Apple.
So if you did buy the Bally's app, or you did have the elevated Comcast subscription, you know what? You weren't watching Friday night's game,
right?
Because it was
randomly
on Apple TV. And then the next day, you're on Roku. And then the next day, you're on the MLB Network.
Yeah.
Now, the MLB Network game was simulcast on, FanDuel Sports Network, and that's fine. But it just feels like if you're a sports fan, I don't want to say you're screwed, but it's just not for you anymore.
You got to pay attention because who's a bigger baseball fan than me? I don't miss a game. And I forgot Friday. I didn't know they were on Apple. So I'm trying to search, and I'm looking, and my TV's pretty smart. I've got the Direct TV, and I have my favorite teams. And my favorite teams pop up, and they tell me exactly where they are. All I got to do is click on the Old English D, takes me to the game. It didn't know it because it was on Apple streaming.
Right. 10 minutes of my life I'll never get back.
Yeah, it's 10 minutes. 10 minutes to find the game.
Right.
And it's just not convenient. But that's where we are now. That's where we are.
Can I help everyone?
Please.
You have a smart TV. I know they're not that smart. But you have a smart TV. You have a browser on your smart TV. Go to Stream East. Get through a couple pop-ups. Watch every single game there is on your TV. Pirate life, baby.
But that pop-up stuff is what scares me.
Why does it scare you?
It's not going to steal your data out of your TV, Rick.
I'm not talking about data. They might put something on my
TV?
device. Yeah.
I'm not talking about your laptop, and I've been doing it for like 10 years. My
okay.
laptop's fine.
All right.
You'll be all right.
I mean, I don't know anything about
How about
this
you,
world.
Rick?
Yeah,
I don't know anything about this
I've never
world, so I'm not
pirated
gonna
it.
advocate-
I'm a pirate.
because I don't know anything about it.
I will teach you one day, my friend.
I will let you. What do you say, Pete?
I pirate all the time.
Really?
If you do it, I know it's wrong.
Pete the pirate.
Oh my God! Trying to help people
Not
out
paying
here.
for an app.
All right, now that we have complained about the crowd at Comerica Park, now that we've complained about the crowd, can we talk about the baseball team, the actual product on the field? We'll do that next. What are we doing? We're just okay. No breaks.
There you go. I like that.
Here. All right, very good.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in the clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
It's part beauty, part beast. It's for those who dare to be different, for those who want to stand out, and for those who are built for more. The all-new Ineos Grenadier combines strength and style for an unmatched driving experience. Sold exclusively at Feldman Ineos of Waterford.
Oh yeah, everybody, it's time to head to Feldman Chevrolet. They got some really good deals going for the 2025 Chevy Equinox. Get out of here, Tom. And also, they have all the great deals on all the Chevy vehicles. You can find them in 5 locations in Novi, Highland, and also in Lansing. Feldman Chevrolet, that is where you need to come get your Chevy cars.
And welcome back. We are live at the Detroit Golf Club in Detroit, Michigan, which is also the site of the Rocket Classic coming up in just a couple of weeks. The Feldman Automotive Children's Miracle Celebrity Invitational. This event will raise $1.6 million for pediatric health care and youth programming. What a guest list that is here, including the great Mark Wahlberg, no doubt about that.
Is there a name you're most excited about on here? That if you get
there-
like one autograph?
Honestly, as silly as this sounds, I think I'd be most excited.
Sabato?
Antonio Sabato
Yeah.
Jr. Like
your wife would be most excited about that one.
You know, back in the day, watching General Hospital. I mean, even Rudy. I mean, come on, all these guys. Sheffield. Come on, back.
Sheffield almost hit a home run right to me at Yankee
Really?
Stadium. I'm in the upper deck by the foul pole at Yankee Stadium in left field, and he hit a rocket to me that went over mine and Mike's head. Me and Jersey
Really?
Mike were at that game. Went over our head, and the guy behind us got the damn ball. I'm still looking for my first baseball, and I've been going my entire life.
You? Really?
Yes. Never got a foul ball yet or a home run
surprising.
ball. Never.
Gary
Shocking.
Sheffield played for the Tigers.
Yeah, he
I feel
did.
like I had a
Sure
pretty
did.
good relationship with him at that point. He was always one of my go-to guys to go get interviews with and everything like that.
He didn't
drop a text. Get him over here.
He didn't claim. He didn't claim he couldn't speak English like Miguel
like
Cabrera.
Punch, or-
Okay. Hey man. Hey.
No speak up.
So
Hey.
we do have a card we're giving away.
Okay.
We got this 2015 Panini Prism Grand Hill PSA 9.
I'd go for a Panini.
I
That
know we
away
got
today?
we got a couple of super chats in already. You have until 3:45 today. A little bit of an earlier cutoff, but get them in. Maz will read your super chats, and then I've got the wheel that will run towards the end of the show.
Want me to read them right now?
Go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, go ahead,
All right.
buddy. Absolutely.
Randall Small started us off.
Legend.
The greatest sports movie ever is
Space
The
Jam.
Natural, he said.
Ooh,
I
okay.
don't
The
know
Natural.
about that.
I'm not mad at
I
it.
just, it's on the list.
It
fine,
is.
but-
It's a little slow moving, but very good. Great job. Great. I mean, it was phenomenal. R.J. Graham. Love you guys. Who is Braylon playing golf with? We don't know, R.J. We don't know. And Dante, 151, just a
How you
couple of
doing?
minutes ago. I just found out that you can listen to either team's radio broadcast during the Apple TV stream, which is really awesome. You're right, Dante. You know who told me about that? Rogelio Castillo.
Raj.
I watched the game on TV with Dan
I did
Dickerson's
too.
call.
Good job, Raj. I gave him a shout-out for that.
Rogelio.
That's the man.
Hey, speaking of shout-outs, can we give the great Dawn Kelly a shout-out
Oh,
today?
Dawn
She
Kelly's
is
in the house?
The co-founder, Expand Marketing Group. Dawn sets all
Dawn.
of us up.
Shout out,
She
Dawn.
keeps us informed. Dawn, come on over here, Dawn. Say hi to the people. Dawn, say hi. Say hi to the people. We're going to sit you down. I'm putting you on the spot. Hates being on
Yeah,
camera,
Dawn.
but nonetheless, Dawn Kelly, one of the great people in our area, does so much work to make events like this just hum. Dawn, how's everything going today, my friend?
It is going good. I'm always happy to see you. You're always happy and Energize. That's what we say. Energize.
Now, leading up to this, I'm sure to pull off an event like this, there's a lot of stress. Now that it's here, do you feel like a little bit of an exhale, or does that come tomorrow morning?
Oh, yeah. Well, actually, you know what? Joey and I already went over and had lunch, so now we're good.
You got to have a cocktail, too, over there somewhere, I'm sure.
I'm not saying anything.
Ricky knows where they're at.
You know, Joey.
Right. We were just saying, Dawn, though, over $6.4 million this event has raised since 2021. Over $1 million today. It does all the money raised stays in our community. Just to be a part of an organization like that, I imagine it has to make you feel tremendous.
Well, like you said, and the fact that it stays local, I don't think people realize that. It helps like 200,000 families. And you guys have kind of walked around and saw, but there's a lot of the kids here, their families here. The dogs that are walking on these programs, they do dog therapy, art therapy. They have scholarships that help families that are, financial needs. So when you can see it hand in hand, and maybe, I can bring over some of the kids for you to meet, but you'll be amazed. And that makes you feel good. Like a lot of times you don't know, like, where is this money really going and what it's helping, but it stays here in, Southeast Michigan.
I love that. Thanks for letting us put you on the spot, too. I'm sure you're, way busy today, and you're probably going to be like, why did you do that to me?
I was over here trying to do my job. I'm talking to her. Hey, you want me to bring this person over? And I was like, no, he didn't. No, he didn't.
I love you, Dawn
Love
Kelly.
you,
You
too.
are the best. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care.
Right. Anson, let's talk Tigers if we could. What a weekend it was. I mean, to take care of the second best team in Major League Baseball, to win 2 or 3, shut them out in one game. This is a team that I don't think you're surprised about anymore. Are people still surprised about how good the Tigers are? Are we comfortable with saying that this is a World Series type team?
Well, it certainly feels like it, and considering the run that they went on at the end of last year, it kind of put everybody in Detroit on notice. And even though there wasn't everybody buying in and believing to beginning of the year, myself included, I thought they'd be a borderline playoff team. I didn't think they'd be running away with the division right now. But, you brought up the shutout. The pitching of this team is so much deeper than last year. And even when they only really had one starter, they were able to do so much with the pitching. But getting a shutout against one of the best offenses in MLB, listen, sometimes the bats don't show up for this team. And I think that's something that they will address during the trade deadline. But the pitching always shows up, whether it's the bullpen, whether it's the frontline starters, the veterans, or the young guys that they have. The pitching is so tough, and we know defense wins championships. Doesn't matter what sport you're in. The Tigers have one of the best staffs in the MLB. As long as they can find one extra piece or maybe 2 extra pieces at the trade deadline to the point where they don't have those lulls like they did against the White Sox, this team truly looks like the class of the AL.
They need a third baseman.
Yes, sir.
I'm telling you right now, you get this team a real bona fide third baseman, and they're going to be on their way. Hey, would it be nice to get an absolute closer, a guy that you can depend on? They're hard to come by, but there'll be some teams dropping out. The Rockies, I'm sure they got some talent on that team. They're on a pace for under 41 wins, which the White Sox owned last year. They beat the 62 Mets. They won 41 games. They have the worst record in baseball. The Colorado Rockies have 12 wins. They are pacing into the 30s, guys, to win for the year. There's like under 100 games to go. They have to win a third of their games to not have the worst record in the history of baseball. There's going to be talent available. Check. The Red Sox, they beat the Yankees 2 out of 3. They usually do. Yankees will beat them next week at Fenway. Those two teams beat the living daylights out of each other. If one of them falls out, it's not going to be the Yankees. If the Red Sox fall out, maybe Aroldis Chapman becomes available. So we'll see. I'm telling you, the Tigers will make a move. I'm not sure how big a move, but you got to get a third baseman, possibly a guy that can close as well.
We've got a closer right now with us, Tom Mazaway, Jay Feldman, Feldman Automotive Group. I mean, here we are again. Are you kidding me?
I got my Motor City hat on now.
I love it. Let's go. Jay, what does this day mean to you, man? Look at this.
Well, this is our 5th year. It's like crazy. It's been 5 years, but, every year just keeps getting better and better. Everybody's super excited. It's hard to believe. Like, you look around, like, everybody is just having such a great time. We're going to raise 1.6 million. Well, that's metal. Hold on a second.
Yeah. Right.
1.6 million today. We're like 1.1 million now. And we got a lot of good auction items. Ryan's buying a really expensive one later. He's going to promise him.
Yes. Let's go.
That's how we're going to do it.
Yes.
But no, it's been a lot of fun, and it's just amazing. And, it's great to give back to the community. 200,000 families affected by this money in a positive way. And to see all the kids here and, on the putting green with Mark and having a great time. And a lot of these kids I've seen year over year, it's unbelievable. Some of them were this big when I met them. Now they're this big. It's crazy.
And that's what keeps you doing it, right? I mean, when you see the real life impact, so many people in our community, they want to do good, and you donate money, and maybe it's a check that you write and you set it and forget it. In this environment, you see the real life example of what the money actually does. And I have to imagine, specifically for you, that means everything.
Yeah, it's just great. I mean, listen, we sell and service a lot of cars in Southeast Michigan, in Ohio, in Indiana, and, to be able to give back, when I was younger, I had one dealership, and I always admired all these guys that had these big companies and were able to do all these big kinds of events and everything, and I thought, would it be cool one day to be able to do that, and here we are, we're doing it. So,
doing it big.
Yeah, so it's really amazing. Thank you.
Mark Wahlberg obviously is a big part of this too, and for those people that don't know your guys' relationship, it goes back about a decade ago.
Yeah, we've been friends for 10 years. So, who would have thought when we met, we met kind of by accident at a friend's house, and here we are 10 years later, and, partners in, many different businesses, and doing this together every year. It's been a lot of fun.
Is there one guy that you see in this program that you're like, hey, I can't believe so-and-so
Stole my
is
question.
Wait, hold on. Let me take. Can I pick?
Yeah, because we were just having some fun doing that. I think one of the cool things.
Ryan Ermanni.
Yeah,
Here he is, right there. He's third from the left.
I mean,
holy smokes! Look at him.
So great. I mean, Gary Sheffield.
He had a beard in this picture, though. What's going on here?
John Barry's here. Where's John Barry? Had an NBA championship stolen from him.
In
2004.
Adrian
My
Danley
goodness.
2.0.
Yeah, right.
No, it is pretty amazing, though. We every year we have so many different people that and the thing about it is none of these people are paid to be here. They come here because they love it. They support the organization, and they're having a great time.
Did you play today?
No.
You can't play at your own event.
No, that was the excuse I used to say.
Can't play at your own event.
No. Can't do it.
We were talking Tigers when we first came in here, Tigers and Cubs. Has the expectation surrounding this Tigers team changed for you? For me, I came in thinking they can, make it to the American League Championship Series, maybe have a run at it. Now I expect a World Series. Has this start, Jay Feldman, for you that the Tigers have change your expectation about this season?
I'm not a sports expert, but I'm rooting for all the Detroit teams, and obviously the Lions are on not to change the subject. Yeah. The Lions are on an amazing trajectory. I think we have some of the Lions here with us today, and so it's exciting to be. It's a great sports town for sure.
You raise $1.6 million. You could talk about any subject you want here.
True story.
It's not a lot of money if you say it fast.
Jay, thanks so much for everything, man.
Thank you.
We can't thank you enough for having us out. And what a remarkable day, a remarkable event, and a remarkable company and charity that you guys are doing.
Thank you
today.
and thanks for all your support, guys. Really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
Jay Feldman, everybody.
Thank
Jay
you.
Feldman. Give him a hand. Absolutely. The great Tim McCollum over here as well.
Timmy
My
Mack.
guy. Love you, buddy.
Neil Rule is in the house.
Now, next thing I gotta set up. Jay is a great. Also takes care of you at the restaurants, Jay. So we gotta get some dinner and some drinks sometime soon. Sure. On Jay, of course. On Jay. Thanks, Jay.
It's another .1.
Right. Exactly. That's so great. All right, guys, we're going to take a break. Come right back. More Tigers, Lions, and a little NBA Finals coming back next. But first, a message from
Feldman.
Are you a real Detroit sports fan? Woodward Sports is here to give you all the Detroit sports you can handle. Weekdays, make sure you're locked in on Wake Up Woodward from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Followed by Big D Energy with Neil Rule and Darren McCarty from 11 a.m. to 1. Up next, you can't miss Ermanni and Edwards with Maz. from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. And finish the day out with the bad boys of Detroit sports media, the Woodward Heavyweights, from 5 to 7 p.m. Okay, wait, that isn't enough for you, you sports freak? Check out Woodward Wings, Woodward Ringside, and the Lions Weekly Update every Sunday with Broder, Terry Foster, and Sean Belegian. Subscribe on YouTube for all our great content, and make sure you're following on all social media, X, IG, Facebook, and TikTok. You want sports? We got you covered. Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Has the best sports fans in the world. That's why they deserve the best sports coverage in the world. We are the Woodward Sports Network.
Oh, yeah, everybody, as I get a nice shoulder rub back here, you can get a 2025 Chevy Silverado for just $199 a month, and Neil Rule will personally autograph the steering wheel for you. Just kidding. Or you can get a 2025 Chevy Equinox for only $259 a month. Come visit any of Feldman's 5 Chevy locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, or in Lansing. Gentlemen, back to you guys.
Welcome back, Woodward Sports Network. We are live at the Detroit Golf Club for the Feldman Automotive Celebrity Golf Invitational for the Children's Miracle Network. Anson in for Braylon today. Braylon playing golf on a Monday at one of the outings. Tom Mazaway.
Yes, sir.
Anson, I just want to say Anson was talking about we're going to talk to John Lepak momentarily from Kronk Gym as well.
Cool.
Coming up momentarily.
The new Kronk.
That's right. But Anson was talking about how the Tigers pitching staff, if you guys want to get John set up.
Ricky's got him.
We are not even halfway through June yet, and the Tigers pitching staff already 7 shutouts.
Yep.
Crazy.
I thought one of the great signs of the weekend, more than anything, was John Flaherty.
Flaherty is coming on, guys.
Because if this team is going to make it to a World Series, they need that second guy.
Mm-hmm.
And John Flaherty was exactly what we needed John Flaherty to be this series.
And Casey Mize not too far behind him. He'll just get the bugs worked out after his injury. But Flaherty is becoming Flaherty again. 9 strikeouts over the weekend. 9. So that's what you need. I'd like to see him go longer than 5 and a third. 6 innings he went. I want to see him go 7. I want to see him go 8. I want him to – that bullpen is taxed. Give him a break. But, yeah, that's a big 3, man. I'll take that big 3, and then whatever mishmash that A.J. Hinch wants to do after that, I'm happy with. But, yeah, you definitely need those. As far as the AL Central goes, they've got the starting pitching. Now, the relieving – they've got that as well, but Cleveland, damn good bullpen as well. They're not going anywhere. The Guardians are there, and it seems like they kind of have the Tigers' number most days. So we'll see how that goes. Back in the day, we used to own the AL Central. Now it's kind of evened out. We'll see how it rolls. But I just want to tell you, man, going forward, if the Tigers get a third baseman, one more bullpen arm, and they stay healthy, they are dangerous, and they could win it.
And again, but – you know, Anson, the Tigers came into this weekend with a 6-game lead, and after playing the second best team in the major leagues, have now a 7-game lead in the division.
There you go.
The closest division, I think the Yankees have a 4.5-game lead. That's the next closest
Correct.
margin of a lead in the division. Is John good there, or do we bring John over here?
We're gonna bring him right in
Okay,
front of
John,
here.
come on over here. The COO of the Kronk
Yes.
Gym. Or should I just say Kronk? John Lepak is with us.
I appreciate that.
John, let me tell you, and I mentioned this when I talked to you last week. You have the Tigers, the Red Wings, the Pistons, the Lions, and Kronk. I mean, that iconic logo for Kronk is as recognized around the world as the Old English D is for the Tigers. What does it mean for you to rejuvenate this brand, to put this brand back in the city of Detroit where it belongs?
Well, first I got to say, how about those Tigers?
Let's go, baby.
Let's go,
Tigers,
Detroit.
baby.
But what a great time to bring Kronk back to Detroit, back home where it belongs, with such a resurgence in the local Detroit sports scene. Again, we're talking about the Tigers. We had the draft, the Lions. Let's go to the Super Bowl this year. Let's make it. The Pistons got hot. The Wings are on it. So timing couldn't be better. It's really great.
You were at Fox 2 a couple of, I guess, months ago now, and I got a Kronk shirt, and I wore that in Florida, and everybody on the beach in Florida, because you know I'm not taking the shirt off.
Well, yeah.
Come on. I'm wearing it.
Sounds like you need to get in
Right?
Kronk.
I mean, it sounds like I got to get in Kronk. But I wear that Kronk, and everybody knows what that means.
Hell yeah.
It's iconic.
It is.
Well, first of all, I got to say right now, we got to get everybody on the team some new swag.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's get sizes. We'll take care of that.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's funny. I had a friend of mine, Ronnie. He went to Mexico recently, and he got off the airplane, and he said everybody mobbed him, and they were like, "Are you a boxer? Are you a boxer?" So everywhere you go all over the world, you know, Emmanuel Stewart did an amazing job of taking that brand global. But again, to be back home means the world to me. As someone who was born and raised in Detroit on the west side, grew up in the original Kronk Gym, and to be able to bring that brand back home, it's just an amazing feeling.
How impactful is it to you to still have the Stewart family as part of this as well? I think that kind of is such a beautiful bridge into this next phase of Kronk.
You know, it's a very emotional topic for me because Emmanuel Stewart was truly a father figure to me, as he was to hundreds of kids around Metro Detroit. And, you know, to be reunited with my big sister, Sylvia Stewart, his daughter, and to just be able to carry on that legacy that Emmanuel left for our great city, it's a tremendous honor, and it's a tremendous responsibility at the same time.
What did it mean to you last week to have the mayor at the ribbon cutting and all of the champions and so many great people in Detroit at that facility because they wanted to embrace and everybody to say, hey, we're back here? What did that mean to you to have the mayor there specifically?
It's hard to put into words. I mean, the mayor has just done such an amazing job during his administration in the city, and for him to be a part of bringing Kronk back, we're just very grateful to the mayor, his entire administration, and also Police Chief Bettison. When he was deputy mayor, he's the greatest, and he was very instrumental early on in helping Kronk get back to the Brewster Center. So big shout out to Chief Bettison as well.
All right, who are the champs? Who are some of the names? And I feel like anytime we do this, we're going to leave people out. But who are some of the names that people can look at and say, okay, I'm going to keep an eye on this kid's career. I'm going to look at this as Detroit's next great champion?
Well, you know, there's a lot of great fighters out there that are training out of gyms outside of Kronk. But right now we've got two young professionals signed. One is Hunter Lee, who is
Hunter
in
Lee's
studio.
my guy.
That's the man right there. He's down in camp with Jake Paul right now, actually, on our socials the other day. Yeah, he put in a little work with Jake. But one of our head trainers is Jake's head trainer. And then we just signed another just an amazing young man in and out of the ring, Will Meyer from Detroit, honor roll student, graduated from Renaissance High School, plays like 3 or 4 instruments, speaks a couple languages, Golden Gloves champion, and just a great group of young kids.
So I have a bucket list favor at some point before my days are over. I want to come down the aisle and walk out with you guys.
Next fight, you guys heard it here. If he's not there, we got problems because I'm coming for you. And we're gonna put you in the ring if you're not there.
I want to do the walkout.
All right.
I want to be part of the entourage.
He's in with the entourage.
Right.
And you heard
I
it
want
here.
in.
If he doesn't show up for
I
the
want
entourage, we're putting him in the ring.
I want in.
Right, you can hold the boom box. Walk it up.
Yes.
There he goes. There he goes. I
John
appreciate
Lee
you.
Pack, baby.
man.
COO of Cross.
Thank you, guys. Thank
It
you.
is
My
so
pleasure.
great to see
Thanks,
you.
guys.
Oh, man, is that
The
great?
squeaky
Come on.
wheel gets the grease.
As far,
I love that
as far
question.
as bucket list items go, that's not at the top.
Listen, man, I'm a boxing junkie, and I want to see boxing come back so strong, and to have Kronk back, come on, man. Hearns, Klitschko, there's so many others that you could talk about. And, you know, it's amazing. Emmanuel Stewart was the man. I love that guy. And to have it back, he's looking down from heaven, and he's as happy as they come.
Let me throw something in here, guys. Do you guys remember Friday night fights at Cobo Hall?
Oh, God, yeah.
That was, if you didn't get a ticket for Friday night fights at Cobo Hall, if you grew up in the Metro Detroit area, what was wrong with you? You saw the greatest young fighters come up and become good, solid stars. I miss
Michael
Friday
Moore,
night fights
baby.
at Cobo.
Absolutely. Legitimately, for the lay person out there, when you talk about sports bucket list, what could you legitimately do that would – is it throwing out the first pitch at a Tigers game?
Nah.
No. Is it taking a shot at half court at Pistons halftime game?
Only if I sink it.
Right.
Is it kicking a field goal at
No.
halftime of a Lions game?
No.
No.
Unless Chad Johnson's there.
It would be walking out as part of the entourage for a fight.
So what would your coming out song be?
No, I would.
No.
I know, but I'm
Hunter
just saying
Lee.
for you. For you, if you were a boxer and you're coming out, what would you come
It
out
would
to?
be. It would be the Rocky theme.
Of course.
No, not Eye of the Tiger. Not Eye of the Tiger.
Oh,
it
the
would
actual
be,
Gonna fly
opening.
now.
Gonna
fly now. Oh,
Italian national anthem.
Yes. Oh, come on, man. Are you kidding me?
I'd come out to the Pistons played all the time.
The final countdown?
Final countdown,
countdown.
baby.
Come on, Tom Massaway.
Come on, man.
Come on, Thomas.
What's wrong with that?
I'm not mad
Come
at
on,
that.
Thomas.
First day out, T-Grizz, let's go.
The single note by Tyson. Just that single note. Just a boom.
Like Hell's Bells kind of
That's
thing.
all it was.
Like Undertaker?
You're so stupid.
Well, I know we're getting close to a break, so I do want to
No,
remind
we're
all you
going
guys.
straight through to
We're going straight
3:15.
through. Well, quick reminder, guys. 2015 Grant Hill PSA 9 Prism. It's going home to somebody in the super chat. Already got a nice wheel built up, so keep those super chats in. Maz, you got to catch us up, or are we caught up on the super chats?
We are caught up. I think we got one or two more. I told you about Rando Smalls. I got it right here, man. Sam, did you hear Anson? Defense wins championship. Sam's sitting over there, of course. Sam Flannel, that's who he was talking to. Field of Dreams, Michael Weary. He says Field of Dreams is the best. That catches you up, fellas.
I saw Maz's office over the weekend. He's got some
Wasn't
really
that
great
sick?
stuff,
Dude.
including the Field of Dreams patch there.
Yep.
His
The
office
ball.
is as cool an office as you'll ever be in.
Thank you.
Real talk.
Absolutely.
I got my Lawrence Taylor helmet, my Lawrence Taylor, Bill Parcells signed picture.
So you got a.
I got every
Bill
helmet in the
Parcells.
NFL.
This is so good.
Every USFL helmet. I bought bobbleheads. I don't have any room anymore. And I have like 5 other jammed containers that I can't
You
even
need
use
shelves
anymore.
on shelves.
Unbelievable.
amazing.
I need a whole new house.
Nah, the
It's
girls
amazing.
are gone. You can start using their rooms.
Oh my gosh.
Good job, Ricky.
Oh
You
man.
never thought of that until just now.
This is the place to be.
Guys, top of the hour here. We are live at the Detroit Golf Club. It is the Feldman Automotive Children's Miracle Celebrity Invitational by Mark Wahlberg. So much fun here. We're going to bypass the break at the top of the hour and just continue on here.
I got a question for you guys.
I love
May I?
this question. This is exactly where I was going.
Listen to me, guys. Detroit. I'm talking to you sports fans. Are you more confident in the Detroit Tigers
Oh, man.
going more forward and winning championships, or are the Lions still the team? Have the Tigers surpassed the Lions in your fandom and your confidence going forward?
If they don't lose in the first round this year, like the Lions did, then sure, I'll put them above the Lions. But the Lions have been doing it longer. They've had this new culture for longer. They're at the point where they're about to re-sign all their guys off of rookie contracts, where a lot of the Tigers' strength we're still seeing come out of the minors right now. So I think the Tigers are a little bit behind them, but just the fact that we can ask this question is phenomenal.
Your life is on the line.
Yeah.
One team you could choose to win their league's respective championship. Are you choosing the Tigers or are you choosing the Lions?
Well, I'd be letting down all my SOL faithful if I said it was the Lions.
And you can't say C.
I've never seen a Lions championship. I got to go with the guys that have won it before. I would think that I'll see a Pistons or Tigers championship
41
before
years,
the
though.
Lions.
Yeah, it's not like it was yesterday or 10 years ago that the Tigers won a World Series either. It's been 41 years.
But they went in 06 and 12.
Right. Yep.
And the Lions have yet to get to the dance.
I just think, look, we are all affected by recency bias. And with the Lions not in season right now and the Tigers in season, and they have the best record in Major League Baseball, and they seemingly are, Saturday's game notwithstanding a 6-1 game, which felt like a bullpen game. That was a bullpen game, wasn't it?
Oh, God,
Tyler?
yes.
Yeah.
Montero and the bullpen.
Exactly. But it's recency bias. We all love what the Tigers are doing. It has been consistent. It has been an incredible story. Is that Lomas Brown? You got a couple of minutes for us? You got a couple of minutes for us?
All right, Lo.
When you're done.
Come on back, Lo.
Yeah, on the way back. On the way back.
Yes.
Lomas Brown over here. Just
I
one
am
of
the
one of the
legend,
great
man.
people of
Yes.
all time in our city.
No doubt.
No doubt. But, yeah, I would have to say the Tigers right now. I would.
Now, is that part of it just the Lions have let you down your whole life to the point where
Yes.
you're a little scared to put your life on a Super Bowl for the Lions?
Well, that and everybody around them is better. Are the Lions better? Forget about the injuries. Just assuming all things were the Lions better this year or last year? Their roster.
Well, I think they're better this year.
Without Ragnow?
I know that we've lost 2 offensive linemen that were tremendous. At the beginning of last year, we didn't know how good Zeitler would be. At that point,
he was an All-Pro. It's we knew who we'd be.
But we got him kind of cheap, and it kind of seemed like just a 1-year type of thing that maybe he'll be good enough. He was fantastic for us, and obviously Ragnow was the champ in the middle of that line. But when I look at the development of the young guys, you look at some of the draft picks that we brought in, some of the guys that we've signed, I think our secondary's better. I think our linebacking level's better. I think our defensive line's better. Our offense outside of the offensive line hasn't changed. In fact, they should be gelling more. There should be more cohesion, more chemistry. I think it all comes down to Ragnow and the introduction of 2 new offensive and defensive coordinators. I think that these changes will suit the Lions going forward versus trying to put a patchwork of a ailing offensive line together. And honestly, I think Ben Johnson, his desire for the big explosive play over just getting it done, I think that this Lions team and offense, a little bit more conservative, will better suit their chances to win a Super Bowl.
We've got a poll in the chat. Pete just put it up.
Okay.
Are the Tigers or Lions closer to a championship? I want to get everyone that's on the chat, I want to hear from you guys on this. And write us in your stuff, and we will, of course, read it out loud here.
It's a tight question, to be honest with you. Razor thin.
And by the way, I just want to I'm not trying to be rude by holding a paper in front of my face. I'm trying to block the wind out, and I think it's doing a pretty good job. It's pretty windy here, pretty gusty. So
you've got a little highlight mic there.
Yeah, that's kind of why I'm doing what I'm doing
day,
right
though.
now.
Gorgeous day out.
Yeah, nonetheless, speaking of Frank Ragnow, though, Dan Skipper had some comments. The great Dan Skipper had some comments last week talking about Frank Ragnow's departure. Here's what the Lions offensive lineman had to say.
And I don't know if you can think of a better pro. I go way back with Frank, right? Played at Arkansas, hosted him on his official visit, right? So spent a lot of time with him, and man, what a consummate pro who he played through more than most folks will ever know. What he's meant to this organization, it's hard to put into words. came in here in the Matty days and, fought through a lot of stuff then, on the field, off the field, and then has been a vital part of this turnaround. So, my hat's off to him, and he'll be seen when he wants to be seen, and he'll be heard from when he wants to be heard from.
There were some people. I want to thank Eric Woodward from ESPN for that audio that we grabbed from his social media account. So Dan Skipper, though, talking about Big Frank. Look, anytime you lose a guy like Frank Ragnow, it is going to hurt you, but it is an opportunity for somebody to step in and fill those shoes. And maybe it's a collective situation where everybody gets a little bit better along that offensive line, and that's how you chip in and replace a guy like Ragnow. No one person can do it, Anson, individually, but maybe collectively you can.
And collectively through Brad and Dan, these guys continue to hit on their picks. I look at these young guys that they bring in, and they just continue to hit and hit. So putting the new blood in with that old blood, I have no worries about it. I know everybody's so scared. I think Ratledge will be fine on the offensive line. You look at what Mahogany meant in the last part of the season last year. He was a top quarter-rated PFF offensive lineman in his first year. This is a guy, just because his legs were different lengths, which they've fixed since, sent him to the chiropractor. But this was a guy that could have been an early third-round pick last year. Obviously slipped for us. I think that it's all about Dan and Brad's vision, and these players will mesh into that vision just fine. I'm truly not worried like so many Lions fans are.
Where are we on the chat vote?
Let's see. We are at Tigers 57, Lions 44. Now it's 56-44.
And let me just say this in terms of it, if you're just joining us, the question, who are you more confident in winning a championship? Is it the Tigers or is it the Lions? And I don't think this is some situation either where you have to be so anti-Lion or some scared Lion or anything like that. But if the Lions lost Jared Goff, heaven forbid, knock on wood, 1,000,000 times, 100,000 million times, season's over. There's no Super Bowl. If the Tigers lost Tarek Skubal, it would be devastating. Heaven forbid. But I don't think that would end their World Series chances. I really don't.
I don't either. Look what happened last year at the trade deadline. They trade Flaherty, made a couple other deals, got rid of some hitters, and what happened? They got better. They meshed. They just learned to lean on each other, and they had the white flag up. Look, the Feldman white flag was up. They'd given up on the season. And what happened? It was a freaking miracle. They all came together, and Scott Harris hit the jackpot by accident. He was walking out of the casino. He was like, all right, we'll take our lumps this year. We'll be back next year. All of a sudden, what was their record, Ryan, at the end of the year?
31-11.
Okay.
It finished 31-13, but those last two games
they were meaningless.
After they clinched.
They were meaningless.
Yeah, right.
How does that happen? And not only that, they have the best record in baseball. They're 42-24. So do the addition. 42 plus what?
31.
That's 75.
70, something like that.
Yes.
It's all these
Sorry,
numbers.
guys. Anyway, they're one of the best teams in baseball.
42-31 is 73.
And they're the youngest team in baseball. It's a miracle.
The White Sox average age is older than the Detroit Tigers. If you're looking at
it's a freaking
rebuild.
miracle.
It's a little too optimistic for me. A, the team is so young. And B, the problem they ran into against Cleveland was their pitching, in my opinion. The fact that they only had Skubal. Now, we obviously have a great staff up and down, but without that frontline Skubal, the fact that this team is so darn young, losing Skubal, I don't think it would be as disastrous to the team as it would be losing Goff, but I wouldn't love their chances to win a World Series without him.
Obviously not, but I'll say this. I wouldn't love their chances without Skubal. I will tell you the chances of the Lions winning a Super Bowl without Goff, zero.
You're not a Hendon Hooker guy, huh?
I don't think the Lions are a Hendon Hooker guy.
The jury's still out on that. Stop
I don't
looking
think
too
the
much
Lions
into Teddy.
are a
Stop
Hendon
looking too
Hooker
much
guy.
into Teddy. Hendon is going to start under center for an NFL team at some point in his career, and we shall see what he is. I am looking forward to seeing a little more Hendon Hooker action this preseason.
Listen to me. On this question again, Tigers or Lions, who do you trust the most? Look what the Lions have done to us. Just 2 seasons ago, how close they were to beating the 49ers in San Francisco and to fall short, and to hear Dan Campbell despondently say, I don't know if we'll ever get back here. And then last year, they run 15 wins off, and it has to be on the 15th freaking win for them to clinch the division. On the 15th win, they take a week off. They're going to get healthy. No, their coaches go and get interviewed and basically get hired. Aaron Glenn to the Jets and Ben Johnson to the Bears. And Dan Campbell, I'll never forget it. The beginning of that Washington game on Fox, he's on the sidelines with Tom Rinaldi. And he's high-fiving the fans, and I'm like, that don't look like Dan Campbell to me. I'm like, wow, we are really confident. Just the way I said, no way they're going to lose to Washington. No freaking way. And they all took their eye off the prize, and they ran out of bodies, and they ran out of gas, and now they have to start all over again without Frank Ragnow, without Zeitler. And we'll see who comes back stronger. Owens Enriquez is back going to be good. Who am I missing from North Carolina State? Our defensive end, our defensive player. That's going to. Pardon?
Aleem McNeil?
Yeah, Aleem. I'm sorry. Aleem McNeil. When's he coming back? When are these other guys coming back? Malcolm Rodriguez. Are they all going to come back healthy? Aiden Hutchinson. I trust the Tigers more. Football is tough. Baseball's a great game. A wild card can take it off and win it all. Whoever's the hottest at the end of the year in baseball has the best chance to win. Whoever's the healthiest in football has the best chance to win.
Well, and it's also going to come down to chemistry, and there are a lot of new moving parts for this Lions team. Some new defensive guys, but most importantly, as we've touched on, the new guys on the offensive line. So, again, I think we're going to lose week 1 in Green Bay, and I'm not worried about that. I don't care if this team only wins 10, 11 games. They'll still be in the playoffs. And the team that we're going to see, if they're healthy, these young guys they'll be experienced by the week 18 going into the playoffs. And to Maz's point, you have to be healthy, but you have to be hot too. And the Lions came off a big victory. Then they sat for a darn week. And even though they might have been hot, they were just too beat up. For me, I love the fact that some of these guys have to be plugged in week 1, like Tate Ratledge, like Mahogany, and they're going to go through the battles and the wars, and they will be ready week 1 of the playoffs.
Football is sudden death.
Right.
1 game.
Yeah.
At least the Tigers, you lose a game or 2, you have a chance to come back in a series. It's just, by the way, 52-48, the Lions have taken the lead in the poll.
Hey. Can I have a complete and total overreaction?
Yeah.
But for me, it's not too much of an overreaction. Did you guys see or discuss any of those videos of J.J. McCarthy at OTAs for the Vikings?
We didn't.
Nope, we didn't at all.
Are you on him again?
Was I ever off of him?
No, you've never been off of him.
Was I ever off of him is the question.
Go ahead. Say what you're going to say.
This guy was the talk of OTAs in the NFL. How dialed in he was, how accurate he was, how great he was. I don't think he had an incomplete pass the entire OTA season.
I've been on record since January of last year telling everyone, Catfish Caleb is a waste of your draft pick. How you could take him over Jaden Daniels, I don't understand. But I have told everyone that J.J. McCarthy was the second best quarterback in that class. And what I watched last year, I believe it was week 2 or 3.
I think he's the best, but
well, we'll see about that. But and if he's even just close to Jaden Daniels, it means he's a top 10 quarterback in this league.
Right.
But I watched the game that he played in the preseason last year, and one of the things that, as a Spartan, I have to acknowledge about JJ is this kid's been counted out and overcome at every single level that he's ever played at. First quarter, he turned the ball over on a fumble and a kind of a bad pass. The next 3 quarters in that game, he looked like a revelation. running the ball, finding open receivers, making plays. The RPO, just ability to the ball skills that you see with Pat Mahomes and that separated Jaden Daniels as a rookie. The guy can really fake out the defense. He came from a great coach, your boy Jim Harbaugh. I think he is so prepared for this next level. And people have counted out his arm and counted out his ability to win the big game, but he's just gone on to overcome all of those things. He did win the big game, and I truly think that that's the second best team in the NFC North. And I think that while my man Stick that I'm looking at right now was telling me that Sam Darnold was not a good quarterback, he was serviceable, but he was serviceable on a really good, deep team that now is getting, in my opinion, one of the best young quarterbacks in the NFL. I can't wait to see what JJ does because he's on all my dynasty teams.
Being on the road here, I don't have access to my full plethora of information that I have. So I'm going to look at Michigander 12-12, and I'm just going to take this as somebody that's giving me a fact here. McCarthy was 38 of 39 in completions at OTAs.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Pretty
in
good.
first-team reps. And I guess the reason I bring him up is just in concert with all of this talk regarding are you more confident in the Tigers or the Lions. I think the Lions' competition is much stiffer than it has been, certainly the last 2 years. And I know last year Minnesota went toe-to-toe with Detroit all throughout the season, and it did take until week 17 or week 18, essentially, to wrap up the division. But I'm not sure too many people were, quote-unquote, scared that Minnesota was going to win that game and that the Lions wouldn't come through and win the division. I do think it is a question this year whether or not they will repeat as North Division champions. I just think up and down that division, it is much harder of a competition. There is no team that I don't think you're going to have a 6-win team in this division. I don't know if you'll have a 7-win team in this division. I think everybody's pretty much 8 wins or more. The last place team in this division could be 8-9 or 9-8 at worst.
And you know, the question that has been definitively answered by this Detroit Lions defense for some years now is the inability to stop mobile quarterbacks. Sam Darnold was not that, and that was why we were able to handle them in both games. J.J. McCarthy is a whole different guy. He can run the ball. He can make decisions on the fly. It's going to be an absolutely tough matchup with those guys this year, and even as a Spartan, I'm looking forward to see what JJ does at that next level.
Hey, one more super chat before we go to the break. Middle-aged sneaker chick, my good friend. Congrats to the Michigan Panthers, a division championship win, the UFL championship Sunday in St. Louis. Michigan Panthers in it.
I watched that game a little bit yesterday. Yeah. It's good ball, man. I enjoy it. I enjoy that league. I hope it just continues to hang on. I hope it does,
too. I hope it grows.
It continues to hang on.
How much do you think it's going to help JJ having sat? I know we're about to go to the break, but I look at Brady and I look at Mahomes.
Huge.
I look at Rodgers.
Huge.
And whether it was a half season or a full season, even Lamar Jackson, they get to sit.
Huge.
Yeah, they don't get rattled in those first couple of games where they get shell-shocked. You get a chance to sit back, take a deep breath, and have it taught to you while you watch it. I think that that's really going to suit him.
Anson, it's a great question, and it's a great observation. I think sitting last year and just watching and letting everything kind of come at his own pace and not being forced to get out there and play like a lot of first-round picks are, I think that is immeasurable.
Best Hall of Famer, brother.
He's got the best coach to coach the quarterbacks up, and that's Kevin O'Connell. That guy, he is at the top of his game. And I know Stick's dirty look at me right now from the left of me.
Not happy.
I'm just telling you, he is well coached.
Kevin
O'Connell and the Vikings are well coached. Here he comes. Here he
Let Stick cook.
comes. Let Stick cook.
Let Stick cook.
Go ahead, Stick.
Keep going, Maz.
I'm done now. Go ahead. It's all you. It's all you.
Hold on, Ricky's got to hook me in.
Yeah. Thankfully, he's hooked up now.
Are we done with the Vikings hour, Maz?
stroking J.J. McCarthy, glazing KOC. Oh, the Vikings are my second favorite team in the NFC North. You don't know. Back when they had the purple people eaters, I'm telling you. They're my favorite. Fran Tarkenton.
Jim Marshall. Long live Jim Marshall.
What are we doing?
Alan Page.
What
Carl
are we
Ellen.
doing?
Gary Larson.
Darnold was awful. J.J. McCarthy's going to be awful.
Amon-Ra Rashad. Sammy Winder.
Oh, the guy that handed the ball off 32 times in a game is going to be an elite NFL thrower.
National champ, baby.
A national champ,
champ.
Okay, Trent Dilfer's the Super Bowl champ, too.
He's going to be the comeback player of the year. Now, wait a minute.
Comeback player of the year.
Is he considered a rookie still? Can he win rookie of the year?
No. He's not going to win a thing but the bench. He's going to be on the bench.
Oh, God.
Who's your boy that still owes you $350?
Mason Leach, where are you? Your purple friends,
double or nothing?
They failed you. Oh, I'll take double or nothing that the
go.
Lions
There's
sweep
your
the
out
Vikings
right
again.
there, Leach.
Lions sweep the Vikings again this year. It's written. It's already been written. We've seen what the Vikings do. We've seen what KOC is. He chokes against Dan Campbell. When they play Dan Campbell, they forget what they're doing because they want to be Dan. They try to be Dan. And you know what?
True.
There's only one Dan. And you see it when a true alpha walks in the room, like that dog in that video. The dog, that's Dan Campbell, and KOC just lies down.
I love that dog, by the way.
We'll be right
great
back.
dog.
Charles or whatever his name is.
Detroit Golf Club. What
are we doing?
Feldman Automotive
Justin
Children's
Jefferson's pretty
Miracle
good.
Celebrity Invitational by Mark Wahlberg. We'll be right back.
Aaron?
Are you a real Detroit sports fan? Woodward Sports is here to give you all the Detroit sports you can handle. Weekdays, make sure you're locked in on Wake Up Woodward from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Followed by Big D Energy with Neil Rule and Darren McCarty from 11 a.m. to 1. Up next, you can't miss Ermanni and Edwards with Maz from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. And finish the day out with the bad boys of Detroit sports media, the Woodward Heavyweights from 5 to 7 p.m. Okay, wait, that isn't enough for you, you sports freak. Check out Woodward Wings, Woodward Ringside, and the Lions Weekly Update every Sunday with Broder, Terry Foster, and Sean Belegian. Subscribe on YouTube for all our great content, and make sure you're following on all social media, X, IG, Facebook, and TikTok. You want sports? We got you covered. Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Well, you know it's that time, everybody. It is Feldman Chevrolet as Anson jumps the gun. False start, 5 yards on Anson Wells. Over at Feldman Chevrolet, you can get a 2025 Chevy Silverado for just $199 a month, or a 2025 Chevy Equinox for only $259 a month, only at Feldman Chevrolet. And you can visit them at 5 convenient locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, or in Lansing. Now, back to the boys.
So, guys, I had a question about my attire today. Now, when I was in New York, I believe I discussed this on the broadcast. Oh, here we go with that wind.
I think you look great.
Well, I mean, of course. Guys, help our friends from 104.3 over there. Jeez.
Is that Bo Derek over there?
That's Bo. That's the Bo. Well, half of Bo. The other half is gone.
Bo, you all right?
So, when I was in New York, we were in Times Square and went to the Skechers store.
Uh-oh. I know where you're going.
I bought a pair of Skechers.
I tried a couple on today.
And I'm okay with it.
I see nothing wrong with it.
Listen, I'm going to buy them. I tried a couple on today. I'm jumping into the Skechers
It is life-altering, these Skechers.
I'm not mad at it.
Do you have socks on, Maz?
Huh?
Do you have socks on?
I do.
Come here.
No, I'm not gonna. What size foot are you?
12.
Can't help you.
I can't help you.
I mean, it's life-altering. I'm rocking my Skechers, and I'm fine with it.
I bought one pair to work in the woods while I was making my Frisbee golf course, and I blacked out everything that said Skechers on it.
Why?
Do I need to answer that?
There's nothing, man.
Now,
There's nothing wrong with
Those
it.
are like the Meyer special shoes.
No, they're not. Not anymore.
Dude, my
Okay,
10-year-old
Tarjay.
daughter bought a pair of Skechers, too.
Yeah.
Listen,
it's
if you walk into a shoe outlet, let's say DSW shoes.
Yeah.
They have 50 pairs of Skechers there. Yeah. They're taking over the market.
They have their own Skechers stores.
The technology or the design to just slip into this shoe is unlike anything I've ever experienced in my life.
Tony
when it
Romo
comes to
likes
shoe
them.
wearing.
I'm not going Velcro.
Stick.
I'm not going Velcro, Stick.
You know why I
need
have an
Velcro.
issue with them? Because
What?
it says Skechers slip-ins. Like, I don't
What?
need you to put that on there to
Like-
slip my foot in them.
Like, why does the S have to be so prominent on
I
the
know.
shoe?
Now, listen, I brought a couple of pairs home, and my wife and kids went like this to me.
Why?
And I had
What
to put,
is
and
this?
I brought them back. Now, my shoe game is among the worst in the country.
Same. I'm not a big shoe guy. I like my dress shoes.
I
have
love
my Ferragamos
like,
for my
like you had
suits.
those beautiful shoes on at my party.
Yeah.
I had nothing. I reached down deep and I came up with nothing. I almost wore flip-flops.
No, you
I
didn't.
mean, I
You
almost
can't do
wore
that.
flip-flops.
Dude, you had black shoes. That's
I
fine.
hate. They looked awful.
Why?
It
I
was
thought it was
awful.
fine.
They're shot. All my shoes are shot. Nothing fits. It sucks.
You need a wide.
I know.
foot.
I'm a wide body. I got wide feet. What can I tell you? To go along with wide everything else.
So my Skechers, anyway.
Stick, are you against Skechers?
I wore my Skechers.
Stick don't care.
It's not. Just rock
Ricky?
it, bro. Who cares what other people
Ricky,
think?
you can wear anything. You look like a professional golfer right now.
No, stop it.
Come
Stop
back
it.
here behind the
I was
camera.
impressed to
Come
see
here
him
behind the
handsome,
camera.
man.
Relax.
Look at
relax.
Look at Ricky.
Look at this guy.
I don't know what you're talking about at
about
all,
as
man.
handsome
I don't
as
know
it
what you're
gets.
talking
Look at
about.
this guy.
Nah, relax.
This guy is.
If I looked like this guy, it'd be no stopping me. Look how
No
good looking
stopping
this
me.
guy is.
Don't stop it.
Stop it.
I was impressed
He's only
seeing
good
Ricky
Braylon.
coming in dressed like that today because he's been talking
Yeah.
a lot of golf lately, keeping up with Braylon.
I'm on year 2.
I like the
I have a
outfit, man.
30.7 handicap.
Do you have spikes yet? Do you
No,
have
I don't do spikes. No, I
That's
don't want
next
any
year.
spikes. Hey, man.
Gotta have spikes, man.
Hey, look, there's no one that can roll with Braylon. We all know that.
Well, come on,
Braylon
this guy.
is as handsome as
He's
they
like cut
come.
out of
He's
a
got me back
magazine.
He's an Adonis, and
Cut
he
out of a
dresses like one
magazine.
as well. But Ricky is right there with them.
I'm the regular
he's
guy.
on
Yeah,
his
regular
way.
guy.
Yeah.
I'm regular guy fit.
As far as regular guys go,
I'm the
come
regular
on.
guy.
Look at this guy. Hey guys, there's so much going on. I want to go around the NFL because a couple of big, one guy cut, one guy signed.
Yeah.
A couple of big names out there
Big time.
in free agency news regarding them. There's the NBA Finals going on, and of course a Stanley Cup Final happening. I want to
We're
get
not
to
allowed
all-
to talk about
And-
that. Stick said.
And we're giving
Not
this
allowed to
card
talk
away,
about
guys.
that.
Don't forget, you got about
How long? What's the deal on
We're
that?
going to cut that about 350 we
15
can do.
minutes.
So we got about 15 to 20 minutes. This is the best card we've given
So
away
about
so
12
far.
to 14 minutes away.
And Maz will reach your
Don't
super
forget, we
chance,
end
so-
at 55.
Yeah, we'll spin
Brian's
it at
here.
355. I got. Oh yeah, that's right. So 352. I'll spin that wheel,
There you
guys.
go.
So get those super
It's
chats
like
in.
the 5 minutes of leeway.
Let's talk NFL.
Two big signings, including
Yeah.
Nick Chubb on the move.
Nick Chubb is on his way, guys, to the Houston Texans. Now, if anybody can come back and will himself to be healthy and be a great back again, it's this guy. This guy has been torn to shreds. His legs have been rebuilt. If I'm betting on anybody, I would bet on Nick Chubb, and I think he makes the Texans better.
Let me ask you, is Joe Mixon there still?
He is.
I think, yeah, he's still there. They didn't,
And that's why
that's
I love
a good
this.
tandem.
That's why I love
Wow.
this.
Yeah.
Joe Mixon and Nick Chubb in the backfield in Houston.
That's a great tandem.
That's the division champs right there.
Imagine
I wouldn't
that
bet
5
against
years
it.
ago.
I wouldn't bet against it.
You look at this move, and as effective as Mixon was last year, he's no spring chicken. And the fact that you can take a lot of those, short yardage carries off of his plate, you're going to give him some more longevity. You really get a thunder and lightning tandem there with one of the best young quarterbacks who has a whole bevy of wide receivers, including rookie Jaden Higgins now. Love that move for them.
There's so much talk about the Indianapolis Colts and the Jaguars and who else is in that division? I don't even remember.
Colts, Jags,
Houston,
Texans, and I'm missing one. Titans? Oh, my God.
Titans.
That's where my kid's going. She's almost there.
Yeah.
She's almost in Tennessee as we speak.
I love it. But I mean, Houston is the class of that division. They just got
They
a lot
are.
better.
They are.
Yeah,
They're
it's a
a
Big
good
year
team.
for C.J. Stroud too.
Yeah, he had so many injuries to his receiving room last year. Mixon was really about the only steady source of offense that they had there. Obviously, Nico Collins came back healthy and played really well. He's got so many weapons now going into year 3. Definitely probably the favorite for the division.
Tank Dell, man, out, which is still, that's a killer.
Jaden Higgins is possibly the best wide receiver in this class. Really wanted to see him go to the Lions out of Iowa State, but this is a kid that could be a frontline receiver in the NFL for many years to come.
All right, Tom Mazaway, big move today for the Packers.
Can I make one comment, guys, real quick?
Okay.
Just real quick, because I was checking our Caesar Sportsbook app.
Okay.
As you guys know, I do, like a few bets every now and then, and I was already did a futures bet for the Houston Texans to win the division before the trade. They were at plus 300 before getting Nick Chubb. They are now, according to the Caesar Sportsbook app, at minus 105.
Wow, that's a good bet.
He should not make that much difference. I'm sorry.
That difference. No.
You know who the long shot is? The Titans at plus 800.
Ooh, not long enough.
Not long enough.
Yeah, but
Cam
they got
Ward,
a
baby.
Mazaway on their team now.
That's right. Lily's there. Those odds are going to drop by the
Not
time she
long
gets
enough.
there. By the time she gets there. Now, look, there's a great cornerback available, and his name's Jair Alexander.
Get him.
The Packers could not sign him, restructure his deal. He is out there. He's available. Someone's going to sign him. And the Lions brought in a whole bunch of corners and safeties this past offseason.
Can I ask a
you
dumb
got room
question?
for one more? They I don't know. They got the money.
Can I ask you a dumb question?
Go ahead.
How can't Green Bay have traded him?
Because I guess the rest of the league knows that they couldn't pay him. Why trade for him when you could get him for free?
Sure, they've been trying.
Well, you trade for him so that no other team gets him. You're competing with 31 other teams in that case as a free agent.
Sam Flattle's
I
in
would
the
think.
audience. He can put something in the chat for me.
So do you think that this is a situation where we've watched in the past where a guy can't get it done with his team, so he goes to a rival just to stick it to him? Because we talked last week about the money that opened up from Frank Ragnow.
Bears. Look out for the Bears.
What's that?
Look out for the Bears.
Stop. So you've got to, to sign him, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Not as much as I'd like to see him come here. I know
Vikings.
as good as we are in the secondary and as deep as we've become, getting a guy like this on a one-year deal with the new money that's opened up off of Ragnow, you give him an opportunity to go out there and show what he's got in a contract year for a rival and a Super Bowl contender. I know it seems like our secondary is already set, but when you add a star like Jair to a Lions defense that I already love and I already think is the best Lions defense we've ever had, that's a juggernaut defense if you put Jair Alexander on this team.
I don't think you look, you can never have enough great cornerbacks, but if there's one position the Lions feel pretty deep at, isn't it the cornerback position?
Yep. No doubt about it, man. We got a new guy we just signed. His name is Ennis Rakestraw. Do you even know what he looks like? We're going to find out this year. Our second-round pick from last year. We're going to finally get some actions out of Ennis.
But again, DJ Reed, Amik Robertson, Terrion Arnold, Ennis Rakestraw. Is Emmanuel Mosley still on this team?
No, he's not.
Jeez, but there's 4 or 5 guys right there that are going to contribute to this team this year in a big way.
Now, the reason I brought up the Lions' name is they have the second most salary cap available. Spot Track put that out. They are number 2 on the list behind the Patriots, who have $60 million. Lions have 48, the Niners 47, the Packers and the Cardinals. The Packers had money, but they didn't spend it on Alexander. Now, he's kind of an outspoken type of guy. I don't know if he's a Lion type guy.
Hey, C.D. Deuce was.
I know. We had him for 1 year, and if C.D. Deuce was here and he was healthy that year, they might have won that damn Super Bowl.
Let me ask you a question. If this guy was on, if Jair was on the market at the same time that they signed DJ Reed, would we have gone after him with a better size over DJ?
Yeah, perhaps. But like I said, he might not have the Lions' personality of the Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell. You know what they kind of like. And I like Jair Alexander. I mean, you hear about him all the time. He's top 10 cornerback in the league. Top 10.
No doubt.
He's going to make somebody happy. Now,
I'll tell you who he's going to make happy.
He's going to make some division rival happy, probably.
Or the Eagles.
Oh, man.
I heard they're hot on Hendrickson, of course. They're hot on Trey Hendrickson. Howie
as
Roseman.
long as they don't have to trade for this guy, I'm all in.
Howie Roseman will give up a 4th and like a 7th and get Hendrickson.
Oh, my God.
You watch.
It's pretty incredible stuff, though, and it just goes to show you, what a good situation the Lions have, too. And, you have very few people, very few players like Alex Anzalone. And I hate the fact that this thing is dragging out even longer, and it will probably go right up to camp, right? I mean, they're not going to sign Anzalone before camp because they don't – number one, they don't have to.
Yep.
They don't have to sign him before camp. And if they do have the second most salary cap space in the NFL, like Maz just read, you know what? They're going to wait for the next cap casualty, or maybe it is Trey Hendrickson, or maybe somebody that they need along the defensive front. Maybe it's an offensive lineman. Somebody somewhere gets cut or released, in the NFL at a position of need for the Lions. That's what they're waiting for.
And Jair is just the tip of the iceberg. Like you said, there's going to be more of these guys.
Of course.
This might be the highest profile player that we see just outright cut by a team. But to your point, we are very deep in the secondary. We're deep at corner. This guy would come in as the big dog. He'd immediately be CB number 1. But at the same point, you got to be patient. They do have a lot of money, and I do expect them to use it on a high-profile guy who will only be here for 1 year. Probably could use some depth on the offensive line over yet another corner. But I'll take Jair, that's for sure.
I think Zadarius Smith still. I still want to see this guy with the full roster.
Yep.
That I believe that he's still got some tread on the tires. And I loved him. I loved how he loved being here. There's just something about him that he's a bright light. I hope they sign him.
I don't think there's any doubt that they're going to.
I hope you're right.
I feel pretty confident that they're not going to. I feel more confident that Zadarius Smith is going to be on this team than Alex Anzalone.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's saying something.
Well, I just think, look, and it's no fault of anybody's. If you're Alex Anzalone, your earning years are very few right now. Yeah. You have got to get your money as quickly and as much as you can right now. You don't have – this might be your you have no idea what each year brings in the NFL. It could be a one-year deal. You've got to maximize your earnings at this level of your NFL life.
I'm pretty sure that they've been in complete – constant contact with him. I believe that they're not letting him hang out there, hang in the wind. I'm sure that they're on it. This is like a family type team. But you know what? It's just business. That's all it is, Sonny. It's just business.
Ryan, did you say that you think it's more likely for Za'Darius to get signed this year than it is for us to extend Anzalone?
It's more likely that Za'Darius Smith will be a Detroit Lion and Alex Anzalone will not be.
You mean in 2026?
2025. Yes.
Oh, you don't think Anzalone, even if he doesn't get an extension, that he'll be suited up?
I don't think so.
I don't think that he would hold out. That's an interesting word for the chat, though, because for me, I think that it's more likely that Za'Darius will be on this team this year than Anzalone will be next year.
I think in 2025. I think Anzalone wants to get paid.
Wow.
And I think it could be a situation like a Trey Hendrickson where, you know what, you're just not going to play without a new contract.
That sure would be a culture shock for this strong culture team.
Again, it's not about culture. It's about doing what you've got to do financially for yourself.
But we haven't seen any of that dissension, if you will, from anybody since these guys came in. And I've been warning Lions fans, this year and the next offseason, we're going into an era with this new regime that we've never experienced before, having to keep the guys that they drafted and developed and really being up against the salary cap for the first time.
Hey, it could be totally wrong, but it's right now I feel more confident that they're just not going to get a deal done with Anzalone.
That's a hot take.
Stephen Baffy threw something in. He wants a card there, buddy. He says, correction, Alexander will sign in division for revenge. So he thinks Jair Alexander will either be a Viking.
That's what happens with a lot
of those guys. He'll be a Bear, or he'll be a Lion.
Especially in the NFC North. They love to stay back and give it to their old team, man.
No doubt about it, man.
Pause.
Hey, I want to get a little NBA in here.
Got to.
Last night was a dud. No, I got one more break and come back.
Dud?
Yeah, last night was a dud.
I knew it. I knew the bet. I knew the bet.
So we're going to break. We'll come back. NBA, NHL, card giveaway next.
Are you a real Detroit sports fan? Woodward Sports is here to give you all the Detroit sports you can handle. Weekdays, make sure you're locked in on Wake Up Woodward from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Followed by Big D Energy with Neil Rule and Darren McCarty from 11 a.m. to 1. Up next, you can't miss Ermanni and Edwards with Maz from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. And finish the day out with the bad boys of Detroit sports media, the Woodward Heavyweights, from 5 to 7 p.m. Okay, wait, that isn't enough for you, you sports freak. Check out Woodward Wings, Woodward Ringside, and the Lions Weekly Update every Sunday with Broder, Terry Foster, and Sean Belegian. Subscribe on YouTube for all our great content, and make sure you're following on all social media, X, IG, Facebook, and TikTok. You want sports? We got you covered. Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. A original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them, and that's not very nice.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Oh, yeah, everybody. We are out here at the Detroit Golf Course for the Feldman Automotive Children's Golf Outing. This is such a fabulous, fabulous event. And right now, over at Feldman Chevrolet, let me tell you guys, you can get a 2025 Chevy Silverado for just $199 per month, or you can get a 2025 Chevy Equinox for only $259 a month, and you can come visit any of Feldman's 5 locations, and they are in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, or over in Lansing. Gentlemen, back to you.
Blowout. We all knew it was going to happen. OKC all over the Pacers. Going to let Anson cook here. But just before you go, let me just say, series is over. It's going to be a 5-game sweep. OKC is going to run away with this one.
Well,
Gentlemen's sweep.
I'm going to save a little bit for Braylon tomorrow because, he's been pushing the Pacers on me. I'm starting to kind of feel Maz's 6-game prediction. I just don't understand what Tyrese Halliburton was waiting for. This guy was 2 of 7 with 5 points to start the fourth quarter. Now, I'm all for, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, guys like that, Chauncey Billups getting his teammates involved, and it seemed like that's what he was doing in Game 1. But he had Obi hitting, he had Nesmith hitting, he had Nembhard hitting, he had O'Connell hitting. He got to take a step back. Nobody was hitting anything last night. And he decided, okay, I'm going to take some shots at the start of the fourth quarter, too little, too late. Now, these guys have been cardiac kids and been able to play their way back into ball games all season long, especially in these playoffs. He has done things that no one in history have done over their entire lifetime. He's done just this season and just these playoffs. But to your point, OKC, they've never lost a back-to-back game this season or in the playoffs. And after losing, they average over 20 points the next game of margin of defeat.
Victory, yeah.
So you saw J-Dub and Chet in their first final game looking very overwhelmed. Game 2 last night, those guys played their butts off. But let's talk about this SGA. SGA, to me, is the first guy that I have ever seen that's really in the mold of Michael and Kobe. And already he's averaging over 30 points per game.
What makes you say that?
His movements. The way he plays, his step back, his fade away, the way he goes into the lane, the way that he's a foul merchant, not a flopper, but a foul merchant. And he's just a stone-cold killer. The way that he's playing right now really reminds me of only 2 other guys, and maybe Dwayne Wade, but that is MJ and Kobe. If the supporting cast of Chet and J-Dub just 15 to 18 points a game, always one of those other guys stepped up. It was Caruso last night. It was Wiggins last night. But they've got 7 guys that can step up beyond their big 3. The Pacers have about 2 or 3 of those guys, and they have to do that each game just to have a chance. And they also need the OKC to really have just one guy play well like they did in Game 1. I think that it is mostly over.
It's over.
It's over, huh?
It's over. It's over.
You don't think so?
Pacers were a great story. They really are. They're outmatched. As hard as they play, it's like the court's uphill. Like I didn't think they would have won Game 1 either. I kept thinking, all right, they're going to fall back again. There's no way they can keep this up. And you know what? They won on a miracle shot by Halliburton again, just like they beat the Knicks in Game 1. That was a series turner. The only problem is OKC ain't the Knicks. They're a super team. They're like the Warriors of 10 years ago. They are the up-and-coming Golden State Warriors, and Steph Curry is rolled up to one with Klay Thompson and anyone else you want to roll them up together, it's SGA and your guy J-Dub. They're a terrific team. I think Rick Carlisle will have the Pacers still playing hard. Who knows? Maybe they'll even steal one game at home. They might.
I actually think they're going to. I think they're going to.
Yeah, but it's going to be 5 or 6 games, and it's OKC's. It's their championship, and they'll win again next year probably. But hopefully they'll be playing the Pistons in the final next year.
It's okay.
Yeah.
To say that.
Very nice.
Really. I mean, I think so many people are so surprised at how good OKC is, how much depth they have, how much superstar talent they have, how deep they are,
and how much
the great
future
coaches
capital,
they have.
crazy future
exactly.
capital.
Because they're OKC, nobody realizes. If you're a casual observer of the NBA and you kind of start watching in the playoffs, or you start maybe even watching in the finals, like OKC and Indiana, what? You are witnessing for the first time just how good this team is, and they're going to be around for a long time. I mean, think of in my opinion, think of every dominant team over the last, let's say, after Jordan retired, so in the last 25 years. OKC, to me, can match that.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. LeBron and the Heat, 4 finals, 2 wins.
Not 1. Not 2.
Durant.
Not 3.
They got their 1 title with Durant.
Not 4.
Well, the thing comes
Did
down
they
to
get 1 or 2 with Durant? 1.
Yeah.
1 with Durant.
That's because he left. If he stayed, they would have won 3.
Yeah.
There's only one question. Can this OKC franchise keep this big 3 together? Because they blew up Durant, Westbrook, and Harden, and you saw those guys go off in separate directions, desperately just trying to scrape up a championship somewhere, and obviously KD had to go over and join a super team. I think Presti and Dagno have a very different culture going on there right now, and I think those 3 guys love playing together. They're the team of this decade, and they're so young, they might continue to win into the next decade, especially if Sam Presti continues to draft and continues to focus on depth. And that's one thing that so many of these teams over the last 20 years, they've been focusing on consolidating depth and turning it into a superstar so you've got your big 3. They drafted 2 of their big 3. And now the rest of that team, all 12 guys get on the court. They're building a team that's suited for this new era of basketball, this new dawn, as we say goodbye to all the best guys, the LeBrons, the KDs, the Stephs that are about to go out. This new thing is built a different way, and I think the Pistons are kind of modeling what they're doing after this OKC team.
And they have 7 number 1 draft picks coming up.
Man, over 4 years, brother.
Hey, Troy Weaver helped that.
Yes,
I keep
sir.
bringing his name up. I can't help it.
That's okay. He deserves a lot of the credit for the team that was handed to Trajan Lane. It didn't take on bad contracts, clean guys out. And aside from Killian, he drafted very, very, very well.
Hey, maybe this is we got about a minute to go before we give a card giveaway.
Got one last super chat. Okay. Randall Small said, that red spring dress was nice.
Hey.
Pete on the camera catching a beautiful young lady in a red dress. Hey. And Dante, hell, in the regular season, the Pistons were one of 3 East teams to push OKC. OKC in the regular season without Cade, by the way.
We'll talk about this tomorrow. Maybe we can get the audio for our show tomorrow. Did you see what Stephen A. Smith said today?
No, I didn't.
Look out, KD to the Pistons.
Oh.
Look out.
No, thank you.
I don't want to give anything up. I
No,
ain't giving anything up for him.
Thank you. Don't blow it up, man.
I don't think
Just
you'd
keep
have
building.
to. I don't think you will have to. I don't think you'll have to give much away.
The Slim Reaper. I remember 2 seasons ago.
Much away for KD.
2 seasons ago, he was talking about this Pistons team and how they are on the upswing. I remember that.
Yep.
Remember after they played, he stepped up.
I think he would
talked
fit
about
in perfectly
hey,
with this team.
It would be exciting.
He
it
would
be
fit
exciting.
in perfectly, and he would love being here. He would love Detroit.
Bringing KD in would guarantee that our window is shorter. Okay? We have assets, not a lot, and these assets go right out the door for many years, just like the Knicks. The Knicks mortgaged their future for the moment that just passed.
We'll more on this tomorrow, Maz. We'll get that audio from Stephen A. But, you got your card giveaway here?
I do here. All right, guys, I'm going to shuffle this thing 4 times. Pete, if you want to.
Yep, I'm
1, 2.
Oh, this is great.
3, and 4. And I got to spin this somehow. How do I do that?
I think it's happening.
Let Pete cook.
Oh, tap to spin. Here we go. Good
Here
luck,
it is.
everybody. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to hold
Zoom
it
in
for
on
this.
it.
2015. Here it is. What do we got there?
Who's it going to be?
Sneaker Check!
Sneaker Check!
All right! I've been waiting for her to win one.
She finally got
This
one.
one's going to you.
Yes.
I'll make sure we include a couple extra things for you. We appreciate you and everybody else in the Super Chat always. I'll be back on Wednesday with some more awesome gifts.
That's right. I'll see you tomorrow with Maz and Braylon.
Hockey tonight.
Tell me about your hockey minute.
Hey,
20
Stick,
seconds.
Can I do it on the way
30
out? Stick?
seconds. That's it.
Oilers, Panthers in Florida. Seriously.
Pull the plug on Maz.
Go Panthers.
Hey, before you do that, let me just say, want to thank everybody out here at the Detroit Golf Club for the Feldman Automotive Children's Miracle Celebrity Invitational by Mark Wahlberg. Over $1.5 million will be
Crazy.
raised today. $1.6 million raised today.
Not too shabby.
Over 200,000 families will be helped directly in our area by the money that's raised today. Since 2021, $6.4 million raised. All that money stays right here in our community for the Children's Miracle Network, and we couldn't be happier to bring just a little bit of a taste of that to you here on Woodward Sports Network. I want to thank everybody involved here with Woodward Sports as well as we sign off. The heavyweights tonight will be back in studio at the Palatial. No, we can. As Stick says, we cannot have the heavyweights here.
Sticks
we
just said
cannot. There are places we can send the heavyweights. This is not one of those places.
Hey, great camera work. Great camera work by Pete today. Thank you, Pete, for bringing us all the sights and sounds from DGC.
Absolutely. We will see
Mainly
you
the sights.
tomorrow, anytime on YouTube.